Look, we'd all like to save some money on auto insurance, but it's difficult to tell what goes into that car insurance quote. Your age, that accident from a few years ago, even the color of your convertible. The bottom line is it's easy to feel like you're in the dark about how your car insurance gets calculated. The good news, the Zebra, a car insurance comparison site, is now out to change all that. And Zebra COO Joshua Dzibiak joins us now to explain more. Hey, Josh, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. Important topic, and I guess right out of the gate, we have to ask, how do these car insurance companies, how do they really determine what we pay these days?
Yeah, so insurance companies use what they call rating factors to determine the price that you pay. And there's something like 40,000 different rating factors that can go into that. And it sort of all kind of boils down to who you are, where you are, what you drive, and how you drive. And so kind of within that, things like your age, your credit score, your driving history, whether or not you've ever filed a claim, if you've maintained insurance coverage, et cetera. There are so many different things.
A lot that goes into it. We know you've done a recent survey, and additionally, you're out to dispel some common myths as well. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we at the Zebra, we conducted a national survey really to try to gauge consumers' level of understanding and interest in insurance. And right out of the gate, of course, most people responded and said they'd love to find ways to save on insurance, right? It's hitting their pocketbook. But what we found surprising was that almost half of those people had no idea where to go first or how to impact their rates at all. The other thing that we found really surprising was that 99% of the respondents failed our short little test that we gave them to solve for some very basic car insurance terms. So it's kind of clear, it's very clear to us and sort of reinforces our vision and in building products like the insurability score to really help users better understand all of this.
It's an interesting point there. We talk about those myths. I think about red cars. They used to say, oh, don't get a car in red, you're going to pay more. That is maybe a myth, or what are some other ones you can mention?
Yeah, we hear these myths all the time. There's some really funny ones out there. We definitely hear the color of the car being a big one, and that has nothing to do with the price of your insurance. You could drive a red car, a black, a pink car. It just has nothing to do with the premium. Some other myths that we hear all the time are about the level of income. Some consumers think that the amount of money they make will impact the amount of insurance premiums that they have, which again is not true. And then I'd say another one that comes to mind is that consumers often think that they can't switch insurance policies midterm without some sort of penalty or losing money. And again, that's not true. As long as you maintain that consistent coverage, you could switch and get a refund on any outstanding amount of time left on your term.
Sure. Well, we know at thezebra.com you're out to help. So do you have any quick tips for our viewers here at Midday Maryland, how they can maybe lower their rates now?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that you should first start by really understanding where you sit today. Go online, go to thezebra.com, get your insurability score. That way we can personalize it toward your profile and your risk attributes. And then from there, it really does make a difference if you're able to maintain continuous coverage. We see it time and time again where consumers will, they'll have at least even a day of a lapse in their coverage, and that will dramatically impact their insurability and their costs on their next policy. So there are a lot of different things there. Another thing that you could look at is, if you don't drive a lot, there are a lot of really great pay-per-mile options out there or other products by some big insurance companies that you should consider. And so it's really different for every user, and that's why we've created this insurability score.
Well, very helpful information, a great site for consumers. We have to say that. Josh from thezebra.com, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. And we'll be back with more Midday Maryland right after this.